Hello everybody, welcome back to 10-minute reviews. That was Freya, and you got me, you licked my liquor. And I'm Jason, I'm bringing you today's video. That is a crazy dog. So I'm gonna go back to one of my favorite genres, and a book that I read quite some time ago that ended up spawning a little bit of a series. Absolutely fantastic book. As always, I'm going to talk about four things. I'm going to talk about the world, the characters, the plot, and the writing style. Please, guys, hit the like and subscribe button. We're a family channel just trying to have fun, so we would appreciate any support that you could give us. So today I want to talk about Confessions of a D List Supervillain by Jim Bernheimer. It's obviously a superhero, superpowered type of book. Absolutely fantastic. Again, this is one of my favorite books. I've probably read this book like 30 or 40 times. So the world. The world is basically our world. It's an Earth variant, I guess you could say. Obviously, there's superpowers in it, and they're acknowledged. They're widespread. You've got your major superhero teams, your major villains, and a lot of the typical kind of pulpy stuff that you might find in in your usual superhero supervillain book. Modern times, modern technology. Of course, you've got your supers, your super inventors or makers or thinkers or whatever you want to call them. But you've got your supers that can do all the standard stuff. Some of the main supers, like the big league people, some of them are theoretically not gods or goddesses, but like the avatars of gods or goddesses. So they have powers very, very similar, and it tends to jump off of the Greek gods, at least for the major ones that appear in this particular book, the first book of the series. Now, as far as the characters go, it's really all one character, Calvin. Calvin Stringle, I think, Stringle or Stringer, goes by Cal, and he is a supervillain-ish. He would qualify as a maker or as like an armored hero, because he prefers to have his battle suit, his combat suit, his mech suit, his Iron Man suit, whatever you want to call it. But he's a suit-based supervillain, not the most powerful, and that's why he considers himself a D-list supervillain. The most powerful, strongest armored battlesuit super is a hero that has actually defeated him in the past, and he is basically hiding. He's basically hiding out in his hidden fortress, which is, I believe, a grain silo. Although it's an underground grain silo, and trying to just basically just trying to figure out his life and figure out his finances suck. His armor sucks. He's having trouble sourcing supplies, things along those lines, to rebuild his armor, to make it better, make it stronger. And along with that, the world goes to hell. So now we get a little bit into the plot. Now, Cal, one thing I will say about Cal, the character, he calls himself a D-list supervillain. He basically, in a lot of ways, especially at first, he considers himself kind of a loser. He's kind of the worthless loser, failure type of character. I wouldn't call him an emo, because he's really not. He's an interesting mix of feeling like he's kind of a failure as a supervillain, while at the same time he's pretty damn confident in himself. He's confident in himself. He's confident in his abilities when it comes down to it, and for good reason. A lot of his failures are really outside of his control. He had tried to be a hero at one point, and so he's not really a villain so much, more of an anti-hero, or okay, he's a villain. He's a criminal, but on a very, very low level. And then the world goes to crap. The world goes to crap, and the heroes end up almost mind controlled or taken out in various ways. In some ways you have almost like the zombie apocalypse kind of thing with some mind control kind of stuff, and hiding out in the middle of nowhere as all of this is going down. He's able to work on it. Again, he's a maker. He's one of the smart intellect type heroes or supers. He doesn't have any actual powers of his own, But as you read the book and you see what he does, you realize that you know, a lot of times when these books focus around characters that don't have any powers, they really do. Just their power is up here. Their power is their brain. They're super intelligent, super engineers, super inventors, things along those lines. Kind of like Mouse from the kid sensation novels, or Anansi from the Madness Runs in the Family series. They're brilliant inventors, and because of his brilliance and the fact that he's hiding out and pretty much shielded from what's going on out there, he is able to work on figuring out what is causing it, work on figuring out a cure, and then once he figures that out, now he needs to work on trying to disseminate it out there, because, you know, he's not a hero. He tried to be a hero at one point, but he's not a hero. But as far as villains go, he of course doesn't want the Earth to get, you know, in the world to go completely down the toilet, because he lives there. One, he lives there. Two, that's where he keeps all the stuff, is the world. So he is invested, of course, in helping, and he does. So he ends up discovering quite a few different things. One, he figures out how to solve this issue that's basically taking over the world. Two, he runs into various magic people, magic things that he manages to solve and manages to defeat, and manages to get some of their equipment. Now, he is not a magician, but he is able to figure out how to use some of this stuff. And through the course of the book, as he rebuilds his armor, he ends up kind of pairing up with the premier female superhero in the world, and, you know, rescues her from the little mind control thing that's going on. And between the two of them, they manage to pull it off and rescue the entire world. And then, of course, it ends with a massive betrayal from another great, another well-known superhero, who ends up doing, again, a massive betrayal. Supposedly, kind of ends things between Cal and this superhero girlfriend of his, Athena, and theoretically kills Cal. Theoretically, he's you know, well, appears to kill Cal. Now, of course, he then uses, he's obviously not dead. He uses some of what he was able to beg, borrow, steal, and figure out on his own to build a mech suit that is the mech suit of all mech suits, which then immediately propels him into being one of the most powerful and greatest heroes, or most powerful and greatest supers pretty much on the planet. His combat capabilities become ridiculous, and the way he does it, it's pretty clever. It's very, very clever. And this ends up kicking off, like I said, a series. The D List Supervillian ends up having 3 to 4 books in it. The first one is absolutely the best, Confessions of a D List Supervillian. The writing style, it's awesome. It's hilarious. Cal is, as I said, he's down on himself at times. He's also a mega smart ass, very sarcastic, very snide. His superpowered friends are kind of your everyday folks. They spend time playing video games in the secret hideout, stuff like that. It's absolutely fantastic. This is one of the best, most entertaining superhero books I've ever read. So after you hit the like and subscribe buttons, especially the subscribe buttons, please go check out Confessions of a D List Supervillian. I'll have a link down below for you guys as well. And otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you next time. Bye now.